Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Trek Talk. I'm Brian Hill, Jack of all trades, master of none. Well, let's get right into it. This episode, number 8 of Star Trek Picard, is called Broken Pieces. Starts off basically the vision that most people have been seeing with regards to the Zhat Vash. Starts off while they're on a planet staring at this circular piece called the Admonition, and it's basically a warning about creating synthetic life and maybe not pursuing it too much. But basically, the Zhat Vash are anti-technology as far as that's concerned. Basically, the vision drives people mad. One person shoots himself, another person bashes themselves in the face with a rock. It drives the aunt of the Zhat Vash spy to madness, which explains a lot when she gets assimilated by the Borg and what happens to her after she is a Borg. And then they discuss Mars. Basically, the Romulans were directly involved with the attack with the androids and the synthetics. But that's going to be later in the review. Rafi figured out basically what Dr. Girardi was up to with the help of the EMH, who was deactivated shortly before she had murdered Bruce Maddox. I really like how Rafi ends up using the holograms in this episode. It's really interesting. Rios basically breaks himself up into 5 different parts of holograms, and that's basically how he keeps what happened to him secret. Once Admiral Clancy and Picard have their chat, Admiral Clancy basically sides with Picard, telling him to shut the fuck up, which, honestly, who cares? It's CBS All Access, so I don't think they really care. And I honestly think that if you watch the movies, they did try to add a little edge. I mean, no F-bombs, but they definitely double dumbass on you and shit from Data a couple times. So, I mean, the swearing, it's understandable, but honestly, it really doesn't bother me. We get back on the ship, and the emergency navigation hologram and Rafi are having a conversation about a cluster, an octenary star system, which is a cluster of 8 stars that are artificially shoved together, which is part of the admonition, the warning. 7 attempts to retake the cube, and in the process, she reactivates all the nanites and all that kind of stuff. And it looked really interesting how they portrayed the Borg cube rehealing itself. She activated the drones, and just as she activated the drones, the Romulans jettisoned them into space. So, yeah, we got that. Picard and Soji are having a meal, and basically they're discussing Data and who he was, and basically what Data was all about. His striving to be human and his shortcomings, but mostly how Picard guided him on his path to humanity. And that right there basically sums up the Next Generation, if you really want to put it that way. The hospitality hologram reminds Rafi that she locked herself out of the alcohol on the replicators, which I suppose is a good thing, considering she does have a bit of a problem, but that's neither here nor there. I think they all do. Yeah, I understand how people would say, well, not in the future, and this, that, and everything, but you gotta think, the Dominion War, stuff like that. people have lived through some shit in the 24th century. Not so much in the 23rd because they didn't really have as much going on. Basically, and then you get to see Captain Rios remembering his former captain, Captain Vanderveer. He seemed to be a good man. Basically, what happened was about 10 years in the past, a couple of they made first contact with a ship and two people that turned out to be synthetics. One of them was identical to Soji. Her name was Jana, and she liked dipping French fries in peppermint ice cream, and that's what made Rios remember Jana and what his captain had to do. So basically, his captain was forced to destroy the ship, finding out that there were synthetics, and in his guilt, he took his own life, which is understandable given the circumstances, because I don't think any Starfleet captain would want to take any kind of life, artificial or not. But it was all under Commodore O's order. And we find out a little bit more about Commodore O and what she did to Dr. Girardi. She gave her a Viridian pill, which was the blue pill from the last episode. But anyways, Viridian is what they use to track things in Star Trek, like in Star Trek 6, where Spock had a Viridian patch put on his back Kirk had a Viridian patch put on his back by Spock to find him in the gulags. But anyways, Soji and Dr. Girardi actually get to meet face to face for the first time, and Dr. Girardi is stunned by the artistry and the beauty that is Soji, and I can't help but blame her. She says that Noonien Soong was a bit of a sculptor himself, and I can definitely see where she was coming from, because he's, he was the father of Data and Lore, and before. Soji asks Dr. Girardi if she's a person, or if she considers her a person, and it cuts away, and we don't really get an answer, but I want to hope she says yes, because that's basically what Bruce Maddox's arc was in the Next Generation. 7-9 basically reintegrates herself into the cube, creating a mini collective, as it were, which was really, really cool. And like I said, they jettisoned all the drones out into space, which was really an interesting visual, to be honest with you. And so basically, the episode ends up where everyone in Picard's new crew is sitting around having a discussion at a table, where they talk about what happened with Captain Vanderveer, and they also talk about what happened with Jana and the beautiful flower. Turns out the reason why there was a warning is because something was coming when there's too much synthetic life. We haven't figured that part out yet, but I'm really interested to see, and I'm wondering if it has any tie-ins to Star Trek Discovery with Control and the AI, with the Red Angel and stuff like that, because there is time travel involved in Season 2 of Discovery, which I will say, after watching it, it's pretty damn good. Basically the episode ends going through a Borg transport corridor. The the male Romulan spy ends up decloaking his ship and following them in, and roll credits. Overall thoughts on the episode. I'm really digging where it's going as far as it's concerned. I like how the writing staff is, attempting to make whatever was misconstrued in season 1 of Discovery right, and I'm enjoying it. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to the end of this season. I'm hoping and planning on doing some kind of a live stream with a couple other people just to discuss the season 1 so far, which, like I said, it's been pretty dynamite. Well, I think it's time for me to head off and get going on some other things. You guys have a good night, and thanks for watching.